Good evening and welcome to Dateline. I'm Stone Phillips.
And I'm Ann Curry. It is the latest in our series of undercover reports exposing online sex predators.
Here's Chris Hansen.
Okay, here he comes. He's coming back.
A month ago, Dateline launched its third investigation into a growing national epidemic. This time, we set up multiple hidden cameras in this house in Southern California where a decoy coaxes the men in. This time, perverted justice volunteers wanted to get law enforcement involved.
We were approached by Perverted Justice to do this large sting. We jumped at the chance.
How many men will go from the chat room to our living room? Dateline has moved into this home in Riverside County, California. For the next day, we'll be greeting guests who have no business being here. This decoy, screen named Bubble Beth 2005, has a picture in her profile of a Dateline staffer taken when she was 12. Here's a man who's seen her picture and her age. He's Kinky Man in Corona. And here he is, Kinky Man in Corona, walking up our driveway. We did background research on him and learned he's really 43-year-old Walter Edward Bapst, a married man with children.
Pretty good. I'm under arrest.
Go ahead, have a seat. What are you doing here?
Getting my ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Coming into a house where you believe a 12 or 13-year-old kid is home alone. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I do.
Well, how would you feel if some guy in his 40s walked into your house trying to hook up with your kids?
I feel pissed. I'm in education.
A teacher.
Mm-hmm.
What grade do you teach?
High school.
You'll hear more from Kinky Man in Corona later. Right now, there are more men on the way. Remember, the men who've come into the house still don't know they're being videotaped. This next man says he's here to sell a house. He's 65-year-old Charles Harding, screen named Hard Chuck 1, here to meet this 13-year-old boy. Based on his reaction,
Hey, how are you? Okay.
I'm about the last person he's expecting to see.
What you up to today?
I have a place that I have for sale.
Oh, you're selling a house.
I see. He was interested.
Well, Chuck, the only problem with that story is that I have the transcripts of your conversation with Luke. What are you looking for? I could be your grandpa. Into young boys your age, love to cuddle with them, caress their body, work my... and it goes on from there. If he would have consented to having sex, what would have happened?
Possibly we would have had it.
Possibly you would have had sex with a 13-year-old boy.
If, I felt he was not fit or anything, I would have...
How can a 13-year-old boy be fit to have sex with a 65-year-old man?
Well, I see nothing wrong with cuddling and caressing.
There's much more to this man's story, as the police are about to find out. This time around, a lot of men appear to get spooked. Take this man.
Well, come here. How you doing? Wait, whoa, come here. Sir?
He's running.
First, the teacher who wanted to have sex with a 12-year-old.
There's one thing you got to know first, is that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say for yourself, then obviously you're free to leave.
In 3 days, 51 men chatted online with a decoy posing as a 12 or 13-year-old. Sergeant Chad Bianco describes the criminal past of Jean-Pierre Michael Weary.
He was convicted and sentenced to 3 years in prison for rape.
Despite being a convicted rapist, here he is tonight at our undercover house. So eager was this registered sex offender that he boarded a bus, and he wastes no time trying to get to our decoy.
Did you manage to bring your camera? I'm sorry that busted.
Hey, sir, can you come back over here, please, and have a seat right on there? Why are you in such a hurry to get over on the other side of the fence?
Oh, nothing. I thought I was looking for somebody, that's all.
So you were just walking down the road, and you thought that this fellow with the construction company lived in this house?
Well, somebody told me that he lived...
Somebody? Who is somebody?
A young man on the phone.
By the way, why wouldn't I want to see you and taste your beautiful body?
That's not my style.
Are you a photographer?
I think about a long time ago I was.
I will look for you, and we will discreetly go to your room, and we'll talk about whatever stimulates you.
You are reading me something that somebody wrote. I'm sorry to hear that.
You're obviously free to leave and go on your way.
I'm not doing anything.
Get your hands where I see him.
But the police disagree.
That's all for now. I'm Stone Phillips for Ann Curry and all of us at NBC News. Thanks for watching.
Chris Hansen joins us with another hidden camera investigation.
We're set up in this 6,000 square foot home in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 27-year-old Jeremy Todd West pulls in the driveway and our decoy invites him in. Bandit 8077 makes himself at home.
So how's it going?
So far, so good. Go give you a hug.
Well, let's
Why
talk
don't you
first.
sit down before you give any hugs here, and we're going to have a little chat. What's going on?
Not much, just come hang out, be friends.
So there's no friends who are your age on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah? So why can't you talk to them?
No, I know what you're doing. Don't go there, please. I know what you're doing.
We would be kissing and my hands
Okay.
would caress your sexy body.
I made a mistake. I was wrong.
Then why did you do it, Don? Explain it.
I was just a sweet moment. I had feelings something was wrong.
Do you ever watch Dateline?
I've watched it once.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Dude, don't.
You can walk right out the door you came in.
Leave me. Leave him.
Sheriff's office, come on now.
Help. Please.
In a few minutes, our next potential predator will probably be thinking he should have stayed away. He's 37-year-old Lauren Armstrong, a construction worker.
It's a massage chair.
God,
It vibrates when you press the button.
Oh my God. I thought you had blonde hair.
Do you like it? I dyed it by myself.
I think it's pretty.
Thank you. Weren't you going to bring me something?
I did.
Did you bring condoms?
Yes, I did.
Seem pretty comfortable there.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
All right, how are you doing?
What's happening?
Not too much.
Not too much. So what are you up to tonight?
Not a whole lot.
You're a pretty prolific chatter there.
I never really was gonna do anything.
So you brought condoms. What else did you bring?
I brought her a bracelet.
You tell her to delete her archives.
I didn't want her to get in trouble by her parents.
You talk about getting married to her. Getting married? She's 13. What do you think ought to happen to you?
I think I should go to counseling to get off the internet.
Well, there's something I got to tell you. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on
God.
Now, you're free to walk out of this house right now.
Sheriff's office, get down!
Walking into our undercover house is 39-year-old John Elliott. We've hired this 19-year-old actress, Casey, to be our decoy.
Gosh, you're pretty.
So what are your plans or what are you thinking?
Kissing you.
Yeah.
You seem pretty confident on the internet in terms of what you wanted to do.
Actually, I wasn't really going to be doing anything because I was worried of getting too scared.
But that's not how you made it sound online. Why'd you do it?
Well, just everything in my life is just, it's all screwed up.
Did you bring any condoms?
No, I wasn't going to do anything like that.
Yeah, what were you going to do?
It was just oral.
I mean, you've been chatting with this girl for a month.
I've had that fantasy in the back of my head.
Fantasy. About being with a young girl.
A young girl, yes.
Well, what do you think should happen to you?
Staten Island?
You still think this is all
No.
funny? You ever watch television?
No, sir.
Well, I'm Chris Hansen, and I work for a show called Dateline NBC. So if there's anything else that you'd like to tell us about your situation, we'd like to hear it.
As he gets up to leave, officers are in position, ready to arrest him.
Sheriff's office, hands up! Hands up!
That's all for this edition of Dateline Friday. I'm Chris Hansen. For Ann Curry and all of us at NBC News, good night.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Stone Phillips.
And I'm Ann Curry. For our latest investigation, we're in Florida.
Here's Chris Hansen.
Back at the undercover house, our male decoy is greeting this waiter named Anthony Sorrentino.
You can sit here if you want.
You are a fast mover. Please have a seat right there. Just please, Sean. What are you doing here?
Nothing. I was just gonna talk to the kid.
What were you going to talk about?
Baseball.
You seem a little more nervous than somebody who was going to come over here and talk about baseball. Now, how old did this boy say he was online?
14.
And you thought it was okay at 39 to come over here and see a 14-year-old boy. You exchange names and ages, and about 45 seconds later, you say you're looking for hot sex. What do you suppose would have happened if there was a 14-year-old boy here, willing to have
I was
sex?
scared.
You were scared?
Yeah.
Now, the problem for you is that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet kids for sex online. Clearly, you can go.
On the ground. Turn around. Turn around. And stop.
This is 58-year-old Charles Gregory Green. Here he is in the house.
Oh, man. Take off my jacket.
Gee, have a seat back over there for me. You need to know that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Get on the ground.
Here comes 53-year-old James Wiles, and here he is inside the undercover house.
Did you bring the condoms too? Well, I'm gonna go change. I'll be right back, okay?
We've blurred his graphic body language, which seems to telegraph exactly what's on his mind.
You seem a little nervous driving around out there. What are you doing here today, Jim?
I'm coming to see her.
And how old is the girl you came to see here today?
She says she's 13. I did not want to have sex with her.
That's not what it says here. We will be making love all the time I'm there.
But I say that on all the...
You say that all the time.
Right.
James, do you ever watch television?
Very little.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet children online for sex. Turn around.
I'm Stone Phillips for Ann Curry and all of us at NBC News. Good night.